What is the best money lesson that you've ever learned? For me, it came from the 2014 movie The Gambler. One of the best lessons, we could say. Starring Mark Wahlberg, Mark, and John Goodman. So take a look at this scene and we'll be right back.
You get up $2.5 million. Any asshole in the world knows what to do. You get a house with a 25-year roof, an indestructible Jap economy shitbox. You put the rest into the system at 3 to 5% to pay your taxes, and that's your base. Get me? That's your fortress of fucking solitude. That puts you for the rest of your life at a level of fuck you.
So look, in the movie, John Goodman, playing the role of a loan shark, tells Wahlberg that $2.5 million gives you a good base to create your fortress of effing solitude, otherwise known as FU money. But with crazy inflation, is $2.5 million really enough to let you sail off into the sunset and retire, do whatever you want? No, times have changed. So let's find out what the experts have to say about this. And at the end of the video, I'm going to share how I got to this situation of actually having some FU money sitting around. More importantly, how crypto can help you get it, which is what you really want to know. Obviously, each person's target amount is going to differ depending on your country, your desired lifestyle, all this kind of stuff. Someone living in an emerging economy like Thailand or Indonesia or the Philippines is probably going to have a pretty different target amount compared to someone who wants to retire in New York or London. Dramatically different requirements. So our definition of what is comfortable is going to vary a lot. And while some people might consider that a mortgage-free 3-bedroom house in a nice middle-class neighborhood, that's the dream, baby. That's the dream. Everything paid off, you're chilling, you got money in the bank, you made it. Others might see this as super basic compared to living in the Hamptons or some crap like that. There's a popular movement out there called FIRE. Beeps and butthead, man. Great stuff. Anyway, an acronym for financial independence, retire early. Followers of FIRE start by multiplying their annual expenses by 25, which is considered the amount needed to retire comfortably. Typically, they withdraw 3 to 4% of their savings annually to cover living expenses in retirement. However, a person's FIRE number, of course, can and will vary. While I applaud those who aim to retire early, there are, of course, several key factors to consider when actually trying to calculate your FIRE number. What if you need to withdraw a significant portion of your savings due to, well, an emergency? Somebody gets sick, your house burns down, you don't have insurance. I don't know. Baby hippo eats something that you're valuable to, whatever it's going to be. What if a large part of your money is invested in equities and an emergency occurs during a bear market and you have to sell at a very unfavorable time? This could force you to sell at a loss and see your nest egg shrink drastically. And of course, there's the reality of inflation. If you have too much of that sitting in cash, you're going to get your ass handed to you. Now look, before we get into more of the details and how much you actually need, I want to let you know real quick about the Wealth Mastery newsletter. This is your weekly guide to the cryptocurrency markets. Look, our readers love it, and I'm sure you will too. Here's why. Because every single week, my team of researchers and I, we are busting our butts trying to help you stay ahead of the curve in this fast-moving market. Let us save your time by helping you to find the latest and greatest insights on altcoins, altcoin alpha, altcoin deep dive reports, meme coins, DeFi tutorials, airdrops. Our airdrops made so much money this year, it's absolutely insane. If, of course, you actually go out and do them, put the work in, right? You can join our 145,000 plus weekly readers for free. Yes, free. Link down below in the description or the pinned comment over on X. Okay, so look. Well, 25 times your annual expenses is a pretty good starting point. I would feel more comfortable with a larger number due to so much uncertainty continuing to happen in the world. Now, Kevin O'Leary, otherwise known as Mr. Wonderful. What a name. Kevin. Anyway, K-Dog here. He also has an opinion on how much we should save. I know some of you are still holding a grudge because of his involvement with FTX, but hey, everybody makes bad investments. Sometimes they just go really badly. Anyway, regardless, the dude has been good with money. He's made loads of crazy investments and done very, very well for himself.
You have to get to a place where you have $5 million in the bank because you can survive the rest of your life no matter what happens, and your family. You can take care of a lot of people making 6 or 7% of $5 million. When you make that, You have to set that aside and you don't risk it. Then after that, you can start to take risk capital and put it to work.
So look, I do agree that $5 million can take care of your family no matter what happens. And earning 6% from this amount will give you a very decent $300,000 per year. Not bad, right? FYI, the top 5% of wage earners in the US make about $335,000, so $300,000 derived from investments annually. Not bad at all. Now, one of the most controversial influencers nowadays, Mr. Andrew Tate. Whether you love him or hate him, there is no denying that he is living the high life and has made gargantuan sums of money with his Hustlers University and all that kind of stuff. He's a big Bitcoin proponent, so let's hear what he has to say. And let's look at this clip and find out how much you need to get to what Andrew considers to be the right level.
After $20 million, life is basically the same. If you don't want to buy a jet and you don't want to buy a yacht, you'll never any more than $20 million.
So there it is from Cobra Tate himself. Unless you have plans of getting a yacht or a jet, which you don't really need, man. You just rent a yacht, you can rent a jet. You don't need to buy the damn things. $20 million should be more than enough to give you a comfortable life. Oh no, just $20 million, Lark. Not a big problem, right? I know, right? Well, let's say you have half of that, or $10 million invested in the S&P 500, earning an average of 10% returns a year. That's $1 million a year, which is wild sums of money. And that can sustain you a very comfortable life in any first world country. $20 million is a big number. It's an insane number. But if you want to be part of an elite circle, then $30 million is what you really need, because unless you got 30, you're basically a brokey, okay? If you want to be an ultra high net worth individual, okay, you need $30 million. Now, according to the 2023 Knight Frank's Wealth Report series, there are 579,625 ultra high net worth individuals globally. Obviously, having more than $30 million will enable you to buy almost anything that you can possibly want. Can't decide if you want the blue or black Lamborghini? Why not get both? You also have access to unique investment options. Things like family offices, private equities, all this kind of stuff, personalized financial services, private banking, wealth management firms. Everything gets rolled out rolled out. The red carpet's everywhere for you. Now, personally speaking, the amount you need differs, again, based on how you want to live your life. Do you want to live that Lambo, Rolex, Instagram life, flying private everywhere? I wish I could say that as long as you are content with your life, the amount doesn't really matter. However, we all know that inflation will slowly erode your purchasing power over time. And if you think that the government is somehow going to magically show up and take care of you when they almost never do, then think again. It's not going to happen. The U.S. Social Security Fund is estimated to be depleted by 2033. That's not far away. You're probably not going to retire by then. Most of you are millennials from my statistics, so you're not going to be retired by then. You got to take care of yourself, man. Add to the fact that the U.S. has now more than $35 trillion in debt, which means either default or massive debasement to repay the debt. Other countries also have similar problems, so I'll agree with Mr. Wonderful and Andrew Tate that you do need millions if you want to secure the future for your family. Here's the problem. Not a lot of people are going to be millionaires or have that kind of money ever. So it's a conundrum. Now, according to Bank Rate Survey, more than half of working Americans feel that they are behind on retirement savings and that they are very pessimistic about meeting their goals. Logical, especially in the current economic conditions. The survey's respondents feel that they need a median of $875,000 for retirement, while a third of workers think that they need more than $1 million, which is a huge sum of money most people will never have. Most people will never have that much money. Now, you might think, well, that seems like a reasonable enough target, but the average household expense in the U.S. is about $77,000, and we all know this is simply going to keep increasing over the years while wages fail to keep pace. So a savings of $875,000 to $1 million today will probably not last for more than 13 years. Think about how crazy that is. The future looks bleak, and as people are living longer and longer, your chances of being a Walmart greeter, well, you're going to be replaced by a robot anyway, but the robot will find you out dead back behind in the Walmart parking lot, I guess, dumpster diving for leftover food when you're 89. What a future. However, there is hope. There is hope. Something I discovered years ago that you're probably interested in because you're watching this channel is cryptocurrencies. I was able to save money, invest in crypto, invest in Bitcoin, invest in stocks, buy a house, buy a car, all without being tied to a 9-to-5 job. And I know that I'm in a different position because I have got a business related to crypto, but I was also able to secure a second passport for my family in case things go south in the West, I guess. I also, don't want my kids to have to go out and participate in crazy wars or anything like that. And look, we're also free to choose to live anywhere in the world. My subscribers know that recently I moved my family to Dubai, a beautiful city, safe city, by the way. If you need to do it, if we need to do it, we can move again, right? That's the option that money gives you. I believe there's still a lot of room for crypto to grow. And the best time to buy Bitcoin, of course, was last year when it was under 20K. But don't worry, if you feel like you're late to the party. I felt like I was late to the party when I started back in 2017. And I was not. Because if you zoom out, even though there are big dips, Bitcoin has always been going up. The cryptocurrency market's only going to go up. We're going to be worth tens of trillions of dollars over the next decade. We're worth 2 and a little bit of change today. Why do you think BlackRock's been stacking? Why do you think Van Eck, ARK Invest, Standard Chartered Bank, everyone's so damn bullish on Bitcoin and crypto and tokenization of assets and all this other stuff? We have El Salvador and Michael Saylor out there stacking. Bhutan, shout out to Bhutan, man. 1/3 of their GDP is now represented by Bitcoin. It's insane. Bitcoin worth millions of dollars in the future. Maybe not this year, probably not this cycle, probably sometime in the 2030s, but it will happen. And sometime in the future, having a Bitcoin, or even a fraction of a Bitcoin, might be all you need to retire. And you can buy that at an extreme discount compared to its future valuation right now, today. So start as soon as you can. It is not too late. There is still time for the average investor to make absolutely outsized gains in these markets. And here's the fact that you need to know. If you want to save yourself, it's not going to be done putting money in the bank. It's not going to be done investing in bonds, any of that kind of stuff. You need to actually push harder. And crypto, while very risky, especially when you start going down to all the meme coins and low cap, high risk stuff, it is one of the fastest moving, fastest growing markets and technologies of all time. And you are at a very, very interesting time because you're here early enough that the masses have not arrived yet. A lot of people are here, but we're going to be at billions of users in the next 10 years. We have 500 million today. So what happens when you add an extra 2.5 billion users? Massive economic opportunity. That's what happens. And that's where you are right now. And you can choose to ignore these markets, or you can choose to participate in these markets and do your best to generate as much wealth as you can in this golden era of cryptocurrencies, which will not last forever. And you have, of course, to take profits on all that risky altcoin stuff, guys, because a lot of it will not last cycle to cycle. You know this. And that's how you can compound gains cycle to cycle and buy Bitcoin cheap during the bear markets, all this kind of stuff. The fact of the matter is crypto's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere except up over time. Up to the right. That's how the chart goes. Yeah, there's big dips. Yeah, there's all kinds of craziness, but it's not going anywhere. And the sooner you realize that, the sooner you're going to do well and be able to actually build real life-changing wealth for your family. And here's the thing. You might think, well, I have to have a bunch of money to do that, Lark. It's not going to be me. You don't. Oh, I have to be an influencer. No, you don't. Oh, I have to start a business. No, you don't. You can just be an investor. Regular investors every single day are out here absolutely changing their lives. They don't have millions of dollars to start with. They come in with modest sums of money, $10,000, $20,000, and they're able to compound these gains from cycle to cycle if you play it right. Most people will play it wrong if they get too greedy, they get too fearful, all this kind of stuff. But if you can play it right, then you can do extremely well as a regular investor in this space. And investing, because the governments are so broken, is probably one of your only opportunities to really take care of yourself and your family. Oh, sure, start a business, all that kind of stuff, great. But you're an investor. You're interested in investing in cryptocurrencies. That's why you're here. And I'm telling you, the opportunity is here. Thanks for watching.